Hello there and good morning. Welcome back to the coffee break. I am enjoying a beautiful sunshiny day here on a Monday. I gotta tell you, with all the storms that are going on out from Texas and on up towards the Northeast, we're having a very mild winter where I am, and it's just beautiful. And it might be cool and cooler at times, but for the most part, we're having a very lovely winter, one to enjoy. So, anyways, that's how I'm starting my day. And I'm getting together with you to take a time out right here on the coffee break. So I want to remind you that if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell button so that you'll receive notification on upcoming videos. And if you can share it with anyone, if you're so inclined, that would be great. And any comments that you have, you can put them in the comment boxes down below. Now, I just sit here and I gab at you on different things that are going on in my life or in the world, or things that I notice and observe. So, today, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet, but I did have a thought in mind that I wanted to bring up here on the coffee break, and that is a question to you, and that is, specifically, have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a fly on the wall and see something go down or something happen, or just to wonder what's going on when you're not there? Now, we have a lot of things going on in the world today where we can put up little cameras all over the place and baby cams and things like that. But we can get a sense of that, especially since we have so much in the way of Big Brother watching all over the place, cameras everywhere, out on the traffic lights and what have you. There's always a camera. So we have become a society where we're dropping in and we're actually being that fly on the wall. Well, I sort of had an experience this weekend about being a fly on the wall, and it was really, truly for a good reason. And that was because, as I've mentioned to you in the previous video about the hummingbirds, my foster father was having some bad health, and he has since left us and has passed on. And part of the journey that I've had since he passed last week has been trying to decide if I can go to the funeral or not, to attend the service. And of course, everyone wanted me to be there, but so much was going on with the weather. And from where I am, I have the furthest to go and a lot more weather to contend with through different kinds of elevations and mountainous regions and highlands and what have you. But there's been so much in the way of winter storms going on that I knew that I would hit some serious weather about 2.5 hours from where I'm at least starting in Flagstaff, and then it might clear up for a little while, and then hit again in Albuquerque and going up into the high areas of New Mexico, and then of course Texas, all of Oklahoma, and all of Arkansas, all under winter storm warnings all the way through Friday. And I knew that it was much more than just driving through snow. It was the ice that I was going to be concerned about, so black ice. So I was going back and forth on making decisions on whether I should travel during that time. It wouldn't matter if I drove all the way from the West Coast out to the Midwest, or if I tried to fly, because some of the airports were being shut down. And even if you flew, you would fly into the closest airport, and then what would you have to do? You'd have to drive. So either way you're looking at it, you're going to have to hit some ice. And I didn't really want to be driving on that ice, and I really thought I didn't really want to be flying right now. I have sort of made a decision for myself that I'm not ready to fly because of COVID, and driving is safer for me, in my opinion. So I thought better of both, actually. And my heart was wanting to be there, and so was my mind, but I was kind of like having that little back and forth before I made a decision, because if worse came to worse, I could have tried to make it, I suppose, but I didn't feel like it was a safe choice, so I decided to choose safety and stay home. But the good news is that getting back to the fly on the wall part of the story that I want to share with you all today is that, during these pandemic times when we're still dealing with it, and we're going to be dealing with it for a while, some of the things that we want to be safe about or make safe choices with, I guess, would have to be things like public transportation, and it would have to be, traveling in general. And if you're in your car, I feel like that's a safer bet, but not during winter weather. And one of the things that is on the list of things you shouldn't try to do is to have mass gatherings of any kind, really. But when you're having a memorial service or a funeral of sorts, you want to be careful about that. And my family was telling me that they were only inviting people by special invitation because of COVID, and they were asking them to wear masks and not to, hug or kiss or anything like that, and to keep social distance happening. But I know the family too, and I know that they're kind of going to have a hard time with that. So I was concerned about that. So all that was going on in my mind about decision making. So in the end, what I want to share with you was that I didn't feel left out. And there is a way to handle it. And you can still sort of be there without really being there. You don't have to sort of like be there just in spirit. You can actually be there by being a fly on the wall. And how do you do that is through someone being willing to set it up to do a live stream. And that's what happened. They set up a live stream. Someone was monitoring the camera phone, and they had it far enough back that you could see everything going on during the whole service. You could see the people in the service and who was there, and it was like I was actually there. And I saw everything from start to finish. It was a good hour and a half long, and they sang songs, and I got to sing songs with them. Favorite hymns of my foster father were used, and that was so sweet and so nice. And to hear the messages that people were bringing, and their well wishes and wishes for comfort and solace were just so great. It was just like I was actually there. And I felt so good about that, so peaceful about making the decision not to go and still be a part of it by being that fly on the wall. And that's what came to my mind as I was thinking about it. Was I kind of have an idea now of what it's like to be a fly on the wall. I can see what's going on. And I was able to communicate with people afterwards about what I saw, and what I noticed. And I could give compliments to the people that I saw doing so much work to make it happen successfully and pull it all off. I do feel like everyone was sitting there close together with one another, and the social distancing part was a little hard to work with. But a lot of people were wearing masks, and they were trying real hard to keep it organized and orderly so that people were as safe as possible. And I really thought that was great. And I could send messages to people and say, hey, I saw you doing this and I saw you doing that. Or, hey, I saw you today at the service and it was just so good to see you because I haven't seen them in a while. And I hope everything's great with you. And, it was like I was really there, like I could actually go out and talk to them, but I really wasn't talking to them. So that's my story I wanted to share with you today on the coffee break about being a fly on the wall. It's really kind of interesting because you can really see everything that's going on and be a part of it. You get to hear it, you get to see it, you get to experience it and sort of participate in your own way, even if you're not physically there. And because, sometimes being a fly on the wall, you want to hear things that are being said, and I got that opportunity, and that was really kind of cool because I was included in the service, and I might not have known that if I hadn't been able to tune in. So for those of you who are experiencing different situations right now where you might be losing a loved one and you're not sure what to do about getting back to see them. Some people just don't have that choice. You know, there's been a whole lots of news articles about people having to say goodbye to people through their FaceTime or something like that on a tablet, and how odd that is and awkward that is. But at least that's a part of our technology today that allows us to still connect on some level that is good. You know, social media and technology has hindered us in such a great way, in many ways, but also there's the good side too. There's a lot of stuff good that can come out of it if it's used responsibly and, you know, for good. So, I just had a great experience being a fly on the wall, and I wanted to share that with you today and encourage you to say it's okay if that's the only way you can attend, that, you know, it's at least a way to participate, and it's okay. So, if you have any thoughts about that, please go ahead and share them in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I'm not sure what that's going to be yet, but I'm sure in the next day or two we'll come up with something to talk about. So join me again and we'll share again, okay? Practice the gift of gab and take a little time out, all right? Until then, you have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.